were first observed in the sky at the beginning of the last century. In 1915, some 12 years after the world's first controlled powered flight, Austrian physicist Robert Ettenreich was watching an airplane cross the sky in South Tyrol when he noticed something, a long spidery cloud trailing behind it. Ettenreich described what he saw in a 1919 publication as the condensation of a strip of cumulus cloud from the exhaust gases of an aircraft, noting that it was visible for a long time. Aircraft had begun to reach altitudes that favored the formation of contrails, and others also began to notice the clouds trailing behind the aircraft. A poetically inclined U.S. Army Medical Corps captain described them in 1918 as various strange and wonderful clouds, long, graceful, winding white ribbons. Never before had I seen an airplane written in white on the blue slate of the sky as this fledgling aviation industry matured. These tracks became an increasingly common sight. Their striking presence has caught the attention of many, including through belief in the chemtrails conspiracy theory. However, it is actually their effects on the climate that scientists are concerned about. So what exactly are they, and should we be paying more attention to them? After initial observations in the early 20th century, the exact cause of these clouds from airplanes remained a matter of debate for several decades, says Ulrich Schumann, professor of atmospheric physics at the German Aerospace Center, DLR. Early theories suggested it was vibrations from the plane's engine or effects from electrical charges. Some considered the possibility that they were due to supersaturated water vapor, but this was dismissed as too little water vapor was thought to be emitted. Finding the causes of contrails was not much of a concern until World War II, when they were first considered an issue. They make aircraft visible. You can see the trail of a flying aircraft, says Schumann. So during World War II, the military tried to avoid contrails because they wanted to avoid the visibility of their aircraft. The first correct explanations of how they formed came in the early 1940s and 1950s, however, with what is now known as the Schmidt-Appelman criterion showing that the conditions required for the formation of contrails depend by ambient pressure, humidity and the ratio of water and heat released by the airplane. In a nutshell, contrails are the line-shaped clouds of ice particles that form in the wake of aircraft. Their length can vary from 100 meters to several kilometers. They need three things to form: water vapor, cold air, and particles on which the water vapor can condense. Water vapor is produced by airplanes as the hydrogen in their fuel reacts with the oxygen in the air. In cold conditions, usually below 40 C, it can condense, usually on the soot particles also emitted by aircraft engines, into a mist of droplets, which then freeze to form ice particles. The process is broadly similar to frozen breathing on a cold winter's day, Schumann says. Not all aircraft produce contrails. They are estimated to occur in about 18% of flights. The air must be cold enough to freeze the water, so they usually only occur above certain altitudes, usually 20,000 feet. Even fewer flights produce the most persistent contrails. In clear, opaque air, contrails disappear quickly, as the dry atmospheric air causes the ice particles to change from solid to gas. But if the atmosphere is moist, the ice particles cannot undergo this change and the rows can remain for a much longer time.